In the midst of all the glitz and glamour, a young man by the name of Chase McQueen introduced his own sense of American nonchalance. Hiding behind his set of specs is the grandson of world-famous actor Steve McQueen. Surrounded by a team of drivers and mechanics that took his grandfather to automotive infamy driving a Porsche 917 in his movie Le Mans, Chase announced his collaboration with sunglass brand Renault. Whilst new bifocals may be the reason for this star-studded gathering, it was the Porsche 917 race car that Steve McQueen himself drove around the Circuit de la Sarthe that caught our eye. McQueen never raced at Le Mans due to insurance concerns, but he did strap himself to his very Porsche 917 race car and send it down the infamously long Mulsanne Straight during filming, all whilst blaring the tunes of a flat 12 engine. An impressive sight, Steve McQueen's Porsche 917 was not the only racing legend on display on the Salon Prive lawn.
Le Mans royalty and rallying heroes were in full force, majestically resting in front of Blenheim Palace. But 1980s Group C beasts were not alone in making racing fans drool.
In amongst the collection of vintage champagne bottles, high-end caviar and jaw-dropping supercars, the Ferrari 250 GTO still manages to stick out like a sore thumb. Officially the most expensive Ferrari ever sold at auction, the most recent model reached the dizzying heights of over $50 million before the hammer fell. But back in 2018 the record was set at a staggering $70 million, meaning it is one of the few cars that will always feel special. But if one of these stunning models wasn't enough, how about two of these seemingly priceless 1960s race cars, alongside a rather distinctive sculpture by French artist Antoine de Filo? What you're looking at here is an extremely rare coming together of both the sculptural Series 1 and purposeful Series 2 Ferrari 250 GTO. In total, there are 36 250 GTO chassis, 33 Series 1 and only 3 of the streamlined Series 2 design. Under the elongated bonnet lies a 3-litre V12 good for around 300 brake horsepower, which may not sound like a lot in today's money, but back in the day this was one of the best GT sports cars money could buy, if Enzo himself invited you to buy one, that is.
Salon Prive is one of the few events in the world where rare Ferraris aren't actually all that unique. And not far from the main stage sat a collection of all the most jaw-dropping prancing horse models in recognisable Rosso Corsa paint.
The automobile comes in all shapes and sizes, meaning there really is something for everyone, and that is no less true here at Salon Prive. If the subtle curves and tuneful song of a 1960s Le Mans racing prancing horse don't tickle your fancy, perhaps this will. This hefty lump of a car, with its out-there styling and tastefully flashy gold pin striping, is the first concept for newly emerging car maker Neuron. According to the company's CEO, Amir Neuron, the model is all about giving customers free rein on specification, meaning the base £2 million price tag will surely grow to mind-boggling heights. Under the showy exterior is quite the personality complex, as Neuron's first production version promises both 1,000 brake horsepower from its twin-turbo V8, as well as racer-rivaling levels of downforce. Yet the cabin holds 4 seats, and this particular concept tips the scale at over 1.6 tonnes, a true tale of two halves. But ultimately, it's a brilliant way of standing out from the supercar herd, as with just 39 examples up for grabs, you'll struggle to come across a matching model. Even more so, that is, if you commit fully to the company's ethos of tailor-made specifications, just like this car shows. While this bold combination of purple and gold paint may not be for everyone, it is designed for the company's CEO. The harsh combo continues inside with gold detailing and purple upholstery. But fear not. Provided you spend the £300,000 deposit, you can throw all the colours you want at the model to satisfy your inner finger painter. Much like the exterior, the cabin gets a sense of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, presenting as a 4-seat race car in fancy dress. Even some time after our time with it, we're still struggling to work out what the Neron really wants to be. Currently very much in the development phase, the Neron will supposedly launch in the first quarter of 2025. But if you want to get your hands on your very own example, you'd better be quick, as deposits are supposedly coming in fast.
Salon Prive may be a fantastic opportunity for grandiose manufacturers of today to show off their latest ornate creations. But in the shadow of Blenheim Palace, displayed throughout the immaculate lawns, classics from decades gone by appear to suit the setting rather well. And they had better shine, as every classic on show gets a thorough inspection by a team of judges looking to give out awards for only the best models on display. Isotta Fraschini is a resurrected brand in today's racing scene, but here is a far earlier version of the marque's automotive philosophy. A firm rival to Italy's luxury car maker of the early 20th century, the Bugatti name has certainly done a better job at standing the test of time, now at the summit of automotive performance. But back in the early days, the moniker stood for luxury as well as death-defying capabilities. If the previous Ferrari 250 GTO sculpture was not impressive enough, this Bugatti Type 35 rendition captures the car's almost flimsy speed in a wonderful way. And one cannot discuss the history of extravagant automotive luxury without turning to the Rolls-Royce name. Providing the rich and famous with stately transportation for over 120 years, the list of important rollers in history is seemingly endless.
Another British manufacturer celebrating an important milestone this year is MG, marking a century since taking the automotive industry by storm all those years ago. And in celebration of its long history, the now Chinese-owned manufacturer has something rather special to show and tell. A few weeks ago, we took a look at the marque's all-new all-electric Cyberster, a throwback to the British sports car with a modern twist. Rear-wheel drive with over 300 horsepower, we gravitated to the entry-level trophy specification, looking set to offer old-school fun in a modern package. The only issue we really had with the car was that you wouldn't enjoy it quite as much in rainy winter. But now there is a solution, as for its 100th birthday, MG has made this the Cyber GTS. Currently but a concept car, it gets all the same attributes of the drop-top Cyberster, like quirky arrow-shaped taillights, a pronounced diffuser and a charming front end, whilst adding a gorgeous roofline that reminds us of great coupe sports cars of time gone by. With this British racing green paint, white roundels and red front lip, the model on show at Salon Prive pays tribute to the 1968 MGC GTS Sebring, a decorated racer in its day. Oh, and who couldn't appreciate white wheels like this? We're just glad we're not the ones keeping them clean. Alongside an additional slab of metal above the cabin, the Cyber GTS gets a collection of other additions, from broader haunches to a fabulous lip spoiler on the boot lid, nicely capping off the roofline. Given its concept form, there is no interior to speak of when it comes to the Cyber GTS. As such, we don't know if it gets the same butterfly doors as its drop-top brethren or regularly swinging openings. We know which we would rather, but they wouldn't attract the same always-online attention-grabbing fan base. As yet, there is no official word on whether or not the Cyberster's coupe cousin will hit the market and become available to the general public. But until MG says no, we will continue hoping it makes its way to full production specification. Even if it doesn't, the MG Cyber GTS makes for quite the thing to look at. as do the majority of displays at Salon Prive here at Blenheim Palace.